Okay, I'm back. Eyebrows, but look not started. So, we have base makeup, and this time, again, I kind of don't have a lot of time, but I'm gonna push myself to film this in the amount of time that I do have. And since I'm feeling Halloweeny in the depths of my soul already, we're gonna do black and orange. I've posted this on my page before, but there was no tutorial for it, obviously, and it's something that you look at and you're like, how did you get from point A to point B? Where is point A? So we're gonna go over it. It is just a smoky eye with a dark orange outer rim. So to start, obviously your base and your eyebrows. Secondly, you're gonna take a dark orange, which let me go find, hold on. We are gonna use, or I am gonna use, the Jaclyn Hill palette, the successful one. So this shade over here, they don't have names. This dark orange guy is where we're gonna start, because I want it to be dark. I want it to be like a fall color, but I actually just lied to you. We're gonna take my Lorac Pro contour palette and that shade over there in the corner that has seen better days. We're just gonna apply that up on the brow bone. Give that a base. I'm probably gonna move. There we go. So base, sorry. And then we're gonna take the Jaclyn Hill palette, and I'm using this fluffy brush again, the E27 from Morphe. I'm just dipping the corner of it into that shade. And then going directly into the crease all the way around. I didn't get to show you this in my last video when I used the lighter orange because I started without you on accident. So it's really just a bunch of this back and forth around the edges, and as much as you can, buffing it down into like your eyelid first to get rid of most of the color, the excess, because you want it to go upwards but not a ton, and then you're just going to cover your eyelid with black anyways. So slowly but surely inch upward. This takes kind of a while because the shade doesn't seem to want to blend. I might actually even switch brushes in a second. This side blended. No, it didn't. I was gonna say it blended better, but that's just not true. Okay, we're gonna switch brushes. This is the Morphe M441, which is just a bigger fluffy brush. Make sure there's nothing on that. And kind of drag the side of this along the edge of the orange. See if we can't get it to move. Basically that's it. You might have to use a couple different brushes, or a better blending technique. Maybe it's me, maybe it's not the brush, but we're gonna do this to the other eye and I will be back. I move this closer in. I cannot stress how important it is that this orange layer is as smoked out as possible as you can possibly get it before you apply this the darker colors, because you really don't have control over that part once there's black in the mix. It's just not gonna work. You're gonna try to blend it and it's gonna blend into this just muddy, messy thing, and there's no going back, and you're just gonna have to wear it. I've done that. Don't do that. So this is about how far I want to smoke it out. We'll go over it. You do have control over like the very edges because the black's not going to go to the edges, obviously, but just like make sure that the majority of it is out where you want it to be. So for I don't start with black. I think I've talked about this before. With the blue eye, I always start with the brown and layer on top. There is a dark brown shade in the Jaclyn Hill palette that we're going to use. They don't have names. and I'm gonna use this M14 Morphe brush. Kind of pat in this because it is super potent. Pat a little bit of it off. And same technique as with the sapphire jewel colored eye. We're just patting into place initially so that we don't get that stuff everywhere, because in this case I did apply my base before I did the eye, so we have to be very careful. There is no wiping away my mess, so we don't want to make one. Okay, so this one, you have to be a lot more careful than you were with the blue if you did try that. It's because we're not building the base. The base is already built and we're building into it. We are, I don't know how to word it, we're just not trying to cover up all of the orange. So with this color, you're kind of gonna go out the farthest because it can be blended better into the orange more seamlessly. And then when we add the black on top, that's when you have to be kind of like the most careful. But at least at that point, you'll see where the brown is, where it expands to, and then stop before that. So what you're looking for is this Halloween gradient on your eyeball. And just kind of keep going back for more brown. Apply it in the middle and take it outwards little by little. And again, this is, if you want it to look better, kind of time consuming, and I don't have a ton of time. I actually have like a half hour to make all of this happen. So I'm gonna do the rest of this on this eye and the other eye, and then I come back and do the black. Can I do this snippy snappy a little bit? Okay, so both sides have the brown, the dark brown applied as much as I'm gonna apply it. Here comes the fun, tricky part, is doing it on the bottom. So that's the general idea, just little bit by little bit and kind of dragging it downward as you do it. I'm gonna do the other side, fix this side a little bit, and then come back. So it's looking a lot more rounded out now. I'm not gonna use the black in the Jaclyn Hill palette. I don't know if I've talked about it before, but I don't like it. It doesn't work as well for me. So we're going to our James Charles palette, and I think it's called Spooky for obvious reasons. It's this giant black shade. We're gonna use that and the thinner 514 fluffy brush. Again, just barely patting that and starting in the middle and moving outwards. This one we're just kind of using a little bit of to top what's already there in brown. The focal point of this is going to be the center, and then I'm just going to drag like the shadows of that color out just a little bit, because there's another black I'm going to use that I like to finalize it with. Actually, I can't remember which one it is. There's two. We'll see. And then for the edges, just to keep the orange going, we're going to take this fluffy brush again, and I shouldn't have told that. Jaclyn Hill dark orange again, just over the edges of that dark shade. Soften it up, liven the orange up a little. Helps keep it blended. We'll fix the edges later. I just got carried away just now. So black with just a matte black shade all over. I'm going to do it on the bottom too, and we'll come back for the topper shade. Doesn't look a whole lot different yet, but for the topper, we're going to go in with this palette that I already had. Don't want to waste it. This Juvia's palette. Juvia's Place. Not that it matters. Festival palette. There's a shade in here that's like a shimmery coal color that I like to put on top of. So we're just taking that, and from the bottom, as usual, building outward. And this one, once we get a good, oh, there's a lot of fallout from that. So I changed my mind. We're not doing that. We are still going to use the shade, but we're going to use setting spray to apply it because I'm not playing that game. I'm not getting this all over my face. So we just went for intensity right off the bat. From the center, moving outwards, and don't hate me, but I think I'm gonna go in with another shade over this because I like this shimmer, but I also want it to be kind of dark. You're probably looking at this like, what the fuck did you do? That looks so not good because it's wet. And also because it's not like super blended. So we're taking this big brush again, kind of molding those together. Okay, that's a little bit more agreeable. And then this little baby Wet n Wild. It's just black sparklies. This probably also has a ton of fallout, so I keep getting too close to this and I don't think you can end up seeing like what I'm doing. So this one again, this brush again, over the top of this. No, fallout. Just carefully wiping that away. So once again, setting spray. I don't like the way this one lays with setting spray as much. It looks much better when you just put it on by itself. But anyways, you get the point. There's a shimmery black on top of the rest of that black. I'm gonna do it to the other side, apply some lashes, and come back. So I didn't make my half-hour deadline. Had to leave and come back, so I'm wearing different clothes and have cold brew. But everything is done except for the glitter that I'm gonna apply. The outside is mostly blended. I'm gonna fix it a little bit. But we're gonna go in with this JCat chunkier glitter, and the reason we're using chunky this time is just because the color matches more than the other shimmery one that I have would. And then we are also going to apply one of these little, what is it called? Iridescent glitter shapes is literally what it's called. So same glue as before, and the same smaller fluffy brush, the M506. Just barely dabbing it onto this brush. And you kind of have to be careful because there's black involved this time, so you don't want to spread that around. Same general pattern of application though. Only difference is this glitter is way more intense. So this is where, when I said I accidentally make hard lines, sometimes really comes into effect. I don't think you can see it, but it looks not evenly blended on the edges. But you can fix it, and you don't have to use this much glitter. I'm just choosing to do that. So before I do the other eye, I'll just apply the little gem so you can see how I did that, because I did not show that last time. I'm just going to take this duo glitter and then wipe most duo glitter, lash glue, wipe most of the glue off, and then tap the back of one of these little hearts to pick it up. And it's going to get kind of crooked. See, this is why I didn't film it before, because it's literally just by chance that this does or doesn't work out. But that's it. I'm just picking it up with this while it has glue on it, and then hoping it stays upright, and then gluing it on. I don't think I did 2 last time. I think I only did 1, but I'll do 3. Oh, see, it's not working this time. Ah. There's probably an easier way to do this, but I haven't figured it out, so. There. And this kind of looks messier than the last one, but I kind of like it. I think it amps it up from this kind of basic smoky eye thing into a glittery mess, I guess. But that's the look I usually go for, so I'm gonna do the other side real quick. Okay, so I just wanted to come outside to kind of show you what it looks like with full light. That little heart on top is glued on sideways because of my really not efficient method of gluing them on, but this is it. It's just another messy orangey smoky eye. You can file it down to take not so long. Like this took me probably a total of 45 minutes, I would say. But again, it doesn't have to be perfect.